Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Heather and I make videos all about motherhood and lifestyle. And today's video is a day in the life as a work from home mom and clean with me. I hope that this video gives you some motivation and just lets you take a peek in the life of another mom. So let's get started. The first thing I do every morning is I get up and make a cup of coffee, because I don't know about you, but I need that little boost to get my day started. Usually my husband is up at this time as well, so sometimes he will make the coffee and let me sleep a little bit longer, but this particular morning I was up and went ahead and started the process. Here you see I'm adding, I love this oat milk creamer lately. It gives like a little bit of smoothness without being overly sweet, and I find that it's just a little healthier than the usual creamers that you see out there. So once I get my coffee, usually Judah is waking up by that time at around 6:30 or 7. So I'm just gonna get him up and get him dressed for the day, even though usually an outfit will not even come close to lasting for the whole day. Let's just be honest. It'll either get spit up on or drooled on or food on it, but I get him in the first outfit of the day. And since we are still breastfeeding, I do give him these vitamin D drops. I use this brand here, these organic vitamin D, and he gets 1 drop of those each morning.
You stinker.
And once a week on Saturday, I strip off all of the bedding to go ahead and throw that in the wash and get it clean from the week, especially since our bedding is white. It just helps keep it fresh and clean. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all of that off and get it in the wash. Next, I go into the bathroom and go ahead and grab the bath mat as well as any dirty hand towels. Since they are white too, I can go ahead and add them in with the bedding and get that started so it can be washing while I go about the rest of my chores. Now I am just starting up our robot vacuum. His name is Bebop, and I start him up every morning so he can go ahead and vacuum the floor and keep it fresh between regular vacuums. I just love this little guy. He does a really good job of just keeping the floor clean between vacuums. And now I am on my second cup of coffee for the day. I actually tried this Nitro Brew creamer that creates this foam, and I love it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do my to-do list and write everything out that I need to get done for the day. First, I need to put away all of these dishes that were left from the night before and clean off all the countertops in the kitchen. The microwave, as you can see, is pretty dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff away and wipe everything down. I've really been liking this Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface cleaner lately. Right now I'm using the lavender scent and I love it. It's supposed to be more natural, and now that I have a baby in the house, I've been trying to move to a few more natural products, and I find that I really like the scent as well, so I'm using that to wipe down the counters. And in case you're wondering, while I am cleaning the kitchen, my baby is playing on his play mat, and then I will usually go ahead and put him down for a nap. I've already nursed him this morning and given him his solids, so he will play for a little bit, and then I'll put him down for a nap and get back to cleaning. So now I am cleaning the oven. We have the electric top style, which I do like because you don't have to pull off the tops and clean out all the crumbs underneath. But I've noticed they get these burnt stains on top that I just can't seem to get off. So if anyone has tips for that, let me know, because I would love to figure out a way to get all of that off of the stovetop. But for now, I'm just wiping everything down with the all-purpose spray. So here is a quick after of the kitchen after it's all nice and clean and shiny. We've got a clean microwave now and shiny sinks. I love the feeling of a clean kitchen, even though I know it will only be a short time before it's messy again. It still feels nice to get it done. So now we're going to go ahead and move over to the living room. And I'm just going to clean up from the night before. We just have some blankets, a tripod there, and some blankets thrown around and just a little bit of mess from the night before that I'll go ahead and tidy up. And here is the after of the living room after I got it tidied up and folded the blankets, put everything back in its place. And then I just went ahead and lit a couple of candles to make it smell nice as well. I love this candle that I got from, I think it was Marshall's, but I love the look of it because I feel like it smells good and it adds a little bit to the decor. The next thing on my to-do list is cleaning the bathroom. Once a week, I go ahead and clean the mirrors and wipe down the counters and the bathtub and the toilet just to keep everything fresh for the week. I don't do this every single day. This is just my once a week deep clean to get everything, or just to keep everything fresh. So I will go ahead and wipe down the soap bottles and any other containers just to get all of that dust and residue off that builds up throughout the week. So now I am just moving over to the bathtub, cleaning off all the sides and the walls with the all-purpose spray. I'm not using a disinfectant because we are renting and the chemicals in the disinfectant tend to wipe off that veneer, and I don't want to get charged when we move out, so for now I'm just wiping it down with the all-purpose spray. Here is an after of the bathroom with everything cleaned up and put back in its place. And now I'm moving over to the fridge. Here's a before. I've got some leftover sweet potatoes without a lid even on them, and just needing to wipe it all down and get it cleaned up. So I'm going to go ahead and start with just taking everything out. And now I am just going through and scrubbing off all the shelves from any food residue. Since they are glass, it's a little harder to get them looking clean. I have to do the top and the bottom. But I do like the way the glass looks when it is all nice and clean. And I'm going to show you the inside of the drawers. I feel like that's the part that's always the grossest and dirtiest, so you can see they're not too bad, but I just need to get those cleaned out as well. now it is nice and clean, and I am putting all of the food back in, hopefully in a more organized manner. I have these little plastic containers that I like to use to kind of keep everything separated and easy to grab. Here is the after, with everything nice and clean and put back in its place. And now I'm just grabbing everything out of the wash and throwing it in the dryer so that hopefully it will all be dry and ready to make the bed here in a little while. Judah, I see he is waking up, so I'm going to go get him up from his nap.
You ready to wake up? Little cutie. Hey, Papa.
And I just go ahead and get him up and change his diaper, and then he'll do a little bit of tummy time, and I'll play with him for a little bit before I get back to cleaning. So I just got the sheets and the pillowcases out of the dryer, so I will go ahead and put those back on the bed, and then I still have to wait for the bedspread to finish making the bed, but I will do that later once that is out. Now I am just going ahead and dumping out the laundry from Judah's clothes that I washed earlier as well, and I will go ahead and fold all of that and get it put away. I love doing or at least attempting the folding style of Marie Kondo in these little, I don't know what you call them, but it makes it to where, I guess like a little tent, to where I can tuck them into the drawers and still see what everything is. And I love these little dividers that I got off of Amazon, and then these here from IKEA, to just keep all of his clothes separate and organized. It just makes it so much easier to find what I need. Now that that is done, I'm going to dust. Here's a quick before. You can see it's pretty dusty. So we'll go ahead and get that taken care of next.
So it is about 12 o'clock, and so I'm just going to grab some lunch. I'm just having leftovers from last night. It doesn't look super appetizing, but my husband made chicken, green beans, sweet potato, and mac and cheese. So I'm just gonna heat that up. soda water with that. I call these soda waters, I don't know. Maybe you call them something else, but it's basically just sparkling water with a little bit of flavor. And we get this lime kind at Aldi. So it's just kind of like a little treat when I want something other than regular water. Okay, so I just had my lunch and now I'm going to make Judah his solids for the day. And so I just have these blueberries and I'm going to put a few of those in the food processor and I will be adding them to his baby oatmeal with a little bit of breast milk, and that's what he'll have. Is that yummy? Hey, baby bear! What you doing? What you doing?
Now my favorite part is checking things off of my to-do list.
Okay, so the last thing I need to do today is clean the oven. And I've really been dreading this because it is super dirty. Yeah, so you can see, it's kind of dark, but you can see it's pretty bad. So I'm going to try this little hack that I saw on just really a Google search. And you just mix a little bit of baking soda. It says half a cup, but I think I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate. And then a little bit of water. And the idea is to just form a paste.
So now that I have my paste ready, I am going in with a spatula and just putting that all over the bottom of the oven and all of the dirty spots. And then I will let that soak for about 30 minutes to an hour.
All right, so I have the baking soda in the oven, and while I'm waiting for that to soak, we are going to go get some groceries. My husband just got home about an hour ago and he is getting the baby dressed, and we're gonna get some groceries and maybe get a bubble tea, and then I'll see you when we get back. You ready?
I got my bubble tea here. and it is so good. I believe it was coconut milk and lychee. And then we decided to stop at World Market because it finally opened back up, and we just went in and looked around for a couple of minutes at some of the decor just to see some of the new things that they had, since it had been probably about 4 months since we'd been in. So now we are back home, and the bedspread is dry, so I'm just going ahead and finishing making the bed while my husband plays with Judah. So now we're just going to get dinner ready. My husband is making dinner tonight. We're having salmon salad, and Judah is going to have some sweet potatoes. So my husband is just getting that cooked up, and he's also adding a little bit of chicken to that as well.
Yeah, get some sweet potatoes. Ooh, ready for some more? Here we go. Alright, so it is 7 o'clock already, and I still have to clean this oven. We just finished eating dinner, we fed Judah, my husband is putting him to bed, and now I've got to try to conquer this oven. So we'll see how it turns out.
And I am putting on some gloves since it is pretty messy, and using a black rag to scrub it off. I am also spraying some water to just help loosen up that kind of hard baking soda. I would recommend probably using either a sponge or like a steel wool sponge, because I think that would actually work a lot better, but I did not have one on hand, so I'm just using a rag. I think it would have worked a lot better if I had a sponge and maybe like a scraper to get off those more difficult areas, but overall the rag worked out okay. And I would also highly recommend putting down a trash bag or some kind of plastic to catch all of the loose debris and crumbs from the baking soda and the dirty parts that you're scraping off, because it did get on the floor, so I'll have to go back and vacuum that up as well. But here's the after, and I think it turned out pretty good. It is a lot better than it was. You can see through the glass now, and there's just a little bit of burnt residue on the bottom that I think I will try using a scraper for next time. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.